all right, guys. They're all right. Let them play a while. They'll do all right. These guys are track stars, actually. They're practicing. Sometimes maybe the race might not look quite as exciting when these guys don't double jump, but I tell you, if you watch them, it's a feat just for a lot of these guys to stay on two wheels. And they're learning. There are future riders, though I'll tell you, without these guys, the sport would go nowhere. So it's a pleasure to see all these riders out here, I'll tell you. There are future riders. Some of these may be on the pro circuit. And I've seen rocks flying. But everyone has to start somewhere, so here we go. 104 should be on the line right now. 35 plus class is first drop. 145 dollars rider second drop. Coming up in this next class. This beginner's class has 22 beginner riders in it. Okay, still our leader here, Stephen Stoll on 116, right in front of us. Solid second. And 148, trying to tighten up. Trying to come up with the distance up on these guys. You'll be coming in here for the moto win. Excuse me, one more lap. White flag. I give him a couple white flags. He's so good. Here I had the race done, but I guess not. So let's see. And different leader, 116. So again, we got to watch these riders for double jump. Not too close. Oh, I see one. Number 22. One of them. Rider that I rode down doing a double jump. He was 20th position, so now he might as well be 28th position. I think it's 007. Those numbers are all really hard to see. 007. There goes Stroll into the lead. All the time, so maybe we'll just make him a novice rider and he can double jump all he wants. No problem. We'd like to ask you people that's against the fence again. Our scoring people cannot read the numbers when you stand up against the fence. Yes, you. In the green shirt. Would you mind getting away from the fence so we can score this, please? And thank you. And also you can just move down a little way, that'll be fine. left. He's back and struggling there for trying to get up there. So again, Moto Sport should be on stage. Looks like they're up there. What's the attraction down here? Get our medics to move over a little bit, we can score a little easier here. And the girlfriend or whatever. Thank you, guys. Okay, our moto leader kind of stretched it out a little bit more, but a good second place coming up here. He's got a solid second place. I can't really make that number out. 007. James Bond. Whoever owns that young fella could put a weight number back there really well. Final lap for these 125 beginners. Oh, wow. Our number 10 rider. Oh, something happened to him there. So he's not going to score real big tonight, but he will score probably better than that. Double jump for us out here. But he did good riding for these guys out here. The whole class did a good job. We'll see you out here again. Come over to the air crossing about a third of a lap to go with our final rider. So they're warming up over there with the best 35 class. First ride.
Opportunity that they have getting this information from you.
Well, I'm glad I can provide it, and it was fun while it lasted out there riding, and I'm glad I didn't knock my head. I can still remember some of it.
Well, Mike Kudrowski's having a fun time right now. Look at that. He's put a little distance on the second-place rider, Jeremy McGrath.
Well, one thing that we didn't point out when we were talking about Kudrowski's year so far is that at Daytona, he did have a little success in between having some terrible rides, and he put together another win. It's 3 in a row at Daytona. Daytona's sandy, and look what we got here, sand. So who's shining right now?
Well, that's a good point, but look at McGrath come through the whoops as he's trying to take over the top spot, but Kudrowski holds on to it for now. Let's check into his pits with Art.
Ryan, it just depends on what part of the track they're in, who's going to be closer than to whom.
Yeah, and it's winding down right now, so the temperature and the heat's really winding on everybody, so it's getting interesting. Plus, LaRocco's coming up now from behind a little bit, but the front two guys are definitely working at it pretty hard.
Number 5, Donnie Smith.
Yeah, Art, they are working real hard at it right now as you look at Kudrowski trying to hold off McGrath. McGrath put in, look at that. Kudrowski glancing over to see where he is.
Well, I'm pretty sure he knows who it is, so it surprised me to see him look over right there. Maybe he just wanted to see if McGrath was sizing him up to try to cut back underneath him, and he covered that move well.
And look at James Dobb, who's gone down. He's getting back up. Doesn't look like he's hurt the bike too much. Not quite sure exactly what happened, but he gets it refired and will rejoin.
Well, his right shoulder there, you can see a bunch of dirt on that. So
yeah.
That's that tough whoop section we highlighted at the beginning of the show. So he probably took a header right there, and he's just a little groggy.
A little groggy. Well, Kudrowski certainly not groggy at all. He's had things his way after he got by Donnie Schmidt, who took the whole shot and brought all the local fans to their feet. They really like to see the guy coming out of retirement run out here. And what did that sign say? I missed it.
Well, Skip pointed back behind McGrath, and on the board it said he's coming. So I think he's referring to LaRocco, which Brian Lunas had just talked about, and you hate to see that. I don't like to hear about anybody coming. Right now, I just want to focus on getting around Kudrowski if I can, if I'm McGrath, and then you hear somebody's coming, you know you got to go even faster, and that's not very comforting.
Here they come through some of the whoops, and look at McGrath make up some of the ground now as he almost draws even with Kudrowski, but he has to drop in and get back in the line to come around that tight turn.
Almost looked like he was drafting him through there.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, he's close. When you're Kudrowski and you got a guy riding next to you, right beside you like that close everywhere around the racetrack, just makes you nervous, forces you into mistakes, and that's what McGrath is so good at.
Oh, look at McGrath there. A little bit, that was almost a knack-knack, wasn't it? And look at the ground he made up as he's now challenging for the lead on Kudrowski, almost side by side, but Kudrowski gets the drive, but slips to the outside, McGrath on the inside. I think they might have touched momentarily there, but no harm, no foul, and Kudrowski hangs on to the top spot.
McGrath is having a little fun with Kudrowski right there, showing him a wheel, trying to make him nervous.
Well, take a look at the top 10, our Suzuki Field Summary. Pick out your favorite rider, and we'll be back with more from Millville right after this.
Hey, I'm not home. Just leave a message.
Tommy, the hot tub's getting cold. Where are you?
Yo, Tom, we're shooting fools. You coming or what?
Thomas, your birthday dinner's in the oven. Everyone's waiting. Tommy, if you're there, pick up. Tommy?
You could run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and still not get as fit as you've become by working out a few minutes a week on the Soloflex muscle machine.
Well, grass tossing is an individual art.
Back at Spring Creek Motocross Park, our second-place points man, Jeff Emig, has gotten his bike fixed. And no, this is not a trail ride. It's a motocross event, and Jeff is back out there. Let's check into his pits. Art Ekman is standing by with Steve.
This could have right here meant the points championship, Steve. Unfortunate crash, and he had to do it with a teammate. That's even more unfortunate. But how does the bike look as it's out on the track?
Yeah, he has no front brake. The throttle's really broken. The clutch, I think, is really bent, but he may be able to use it. But without the front brake here and a lot of them steep downhills, I don't think he can go anywhere. So maybe, I don't know, maybe worth him being out there, but maybe see how he goes. Might be tempted to pull him in so he can maybe go out and win the second moto.
Well, I think what Steve Butler is talking about with the throttle there is that there's plastic and it rides over the top of the handlebar. When that breaks, I've had that happen to my bike in a big pile up. And what he has to do is turn the throttle on and turn it off because it won't slide on the handlebar. And I think he's right. They should take a close look and see if he's going to be able to get in the top 20, if there's even a shot at it. If not, why waste energy? You heard how hot it is out there. He can just be fresh for the second moto.
Back up front, look at the separation that Mike Kudrowski has put on second place, Jeremy McGrath. But more importantly, look at the third place rider, Mike LaRocco. The rocket is rolling, and he is just about to catch McGrath and make a strong challenge for that second spot.
Now look how fast he went through that section right there, up into that corner. Didn't even look like he was going to make the turn. So he's on the gas. One thing I like about LaRocco is he charges hard into corners, hard under braking. He makes up a lot of time there.
Look once again up front as Kudrowski looks over his shoulder like, hey, McGrath, where'd you go? Oh, you got my teammate to worry about, huh?
Yeah, he's probably hoping LaRocco can get around and push McGrath out of the way. And I think he's going to have to deal with LaRocco here pretty soon, the way LaRocco's riding. So I don't think he's off the hook.
He talked about the effect that McGrath had on Kudrowski. What about LaRocco on McGrath?
Well, I think he'll make anybody nervous. LaRocco has proven that he can go faster than McGrath. McGrath knows that, and it'll make him nervous.
Oh, man, he is really catching him as they come up the hill. McGrath flips outside. Look at LaRocco. Shoots to the inside down the hill, and LaRocco has moved past Jeremy McGrath into the second spot, and you can just hear everybody here cheering.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. Look at McGrath. He's just trail riding right now. He went wide, looked over, saw LaRocco go by, and just trail rode down the hill and into these switchbacks. Looked like he just completely gave up. And, you know, in his defense, he doesn't have to beat these guys. He probably knows by now that Emmig's buried in the pack. That's his closest contender for the title, but you don't like to see a guy give up like that. The fans want to see Jeremy challenge these guys.
Well, he's still riding along in third place. There's still a little time left in Moto number 1, so maybe he will come back. But right now, McGrath sitting in third place. The two Kawasaki guys who had their way for most of last season are running 1-2, Kudrowski and LaRocco. Let's check into pits with Art Ekman.
Skip, it's kind of hard to be cool on a track like today.
Yeah, but we got a big break with Emmett going down and having some severe problems with his bike. So Jeremy knows he's out of this moto, and that's who we're kind of racing for the championship. Looks like he's kind of taking it easy out there, finish in the top 3 and save his energy and maybe go hammer on his second moto.
Well, he always said that his second moto's his favorite.
Yeah, he's been tearing the second motos up. We just got to do something during the first one.
Well, you're not going to do it by giving up. And it was very obvious to me that Jeremy just shifted into the cruise mode. And I don't know if he's just going to save his energy and try to go back to the second moto like he said or what. But look at him right there. He doesn't even care about this moto right now.
Well, this is a guy who cares for a good finish. He's running along in the 4th spot, Larry Ward. And he really needs something good to happen here as we get to the close of the outdoor season.
Well, something good will be that he'll probably look up there and see McGrath riding around slow. Maybe he can pass somebody.
Yeah, but it looks like he's got a long way to go before he's going to catch McGrath. But, hey, anything's possible. Right now, Larry Ward's riding out there all alone, and they call him, the Maytag repairman, the loneliest guy in town. Looks like right now Larry Ward is. So how, when you're running, well, he's coming up on one of the lap riders and goes around with these. But when you're running by yourself, you have no concept how fast you're going, do you?
Right, it's kind of boring. You just try to, as a rider, when you've ridden this long, you have that instinct. You know how fast you're going. And right now, Larry looks like he's pacing himself to me. He doesn't look much different than McGrath. They're probably running about the same pace, and it is boring, but you try to save energy because you're thinking about the second moto. You try to look at how the track develops so that when the second moto rolls around, you'll have some good lines right off the bat. Hope for a better start.
Back up front now, look at the rocket. He is closing in on his Kawasaki teammate in a hurry. Mike LaRocco, he's not going to settle for second. He wants to get around and win this moto.
Well, it looks like he's going to. Wow.
Good grief. Oh, he gets a little squirrely there, but he comes into the outside rut. And look, there the fans got the hankies out waving them around, and now the lap traffic will really play into it as, look, LaRocco on the inside sweeps around and takes over the top spot.
Well, that's how you win races. And then, we're not seeing that from McGrath right now. I understand that he's in a position to win the championship, and he's got to ride smart, but this is what the fans pay to see. This is what I like to watch when I see a race. The guy that's trying as hard as he can, and LaRocco's doing it. And I can appreciate that talent and aggression.
Well, let's take another look at that pass, David.
Well, the left riders obviously played a big part, and I don't think that LaRocco could have made that pass on Kedrowski. He just got fouled up a little bit, had the wide line, and LaRocco just rode right in there and took it away.
Right now, LaRocco is out in front, and he's already put quite a bit of distance between himself and his teammates. Take a look at the top 10 on our Suzuki Field Summary. Back with the finish after this.
Winning a single Supercross is no easy feat. Jeremy McGrath has won 3 Supercross championships in a row. For Honda, that makes 8 straight. Are you up for that?
How do you visualize your future? This or this? Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute and get on the fast track to success. Endorsed by all 5 major manufacturers, the MMI professionals will provide the technician training to give you control of your future.
I'm currently in charge of the Suzuki Yoshimura Super Sport program. I wouldn't be here today without MMI on my resume.
Call Motorcycle Mechanics Institute now to train for your future.
The Maryland Terps are on the move. This week, they'll scamper to Atlanta to tackle the Yellow Jackets at Bobby Dodd. Maryland versus Georgia Tech, Thursday at 8, only on ESPN.
AMA Motocross on ESPN is being brought to you by Suzuki. Suzuki has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it.
White flag is out for Mike LaRocco. Final lap, moto number 1 here in Millville, Minnesota. Crowd cheering him on.
Well, there's a guy that's in shape. This guy is charging hard. It's the final lap. You can see the lead he's got. Doesn't need to charge very hard, but he's still going after it, and that's why he's got that number 1 plate on his motorcycle.
Right now, he's got the number 1 spot. Just tooling around an easy Sunday afternoon ride. Of course, the first half of it wasn't all that easy, was it?
No, he's had his problems this year. I mean, it's got to be just so frustrating for him. I mean, I think he's the fastest rider. In Supercross, he's got his hands full with McGrath, but he still had a shot at it when he got hurt, and it had to be a bummer for him to have all these problems in the National and know that he didn't have a chance to win the championship. But you see the effort he still puts out, and I admire that.
It's amazing to me that after breaking the arm at Charlotte and all the time he missed riding, that he is still in this good a shape.
Right, well, he's in fantastic shape. That's something he's known for, and you know, another thing, too, I mean, I've bagged him a bunch of times on not being able to get good starts, but he sure has improved. I mean, without starts he's been getting, I don't think he could dominate like this.
He doesn't have everything squared away for next year either, does he?
I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm sure he'll be a hot property, and whoever he goes with, he'll get plenty of dough.
Oh, yeah, no way me. Last lap, LaRocco is out in front. Kedrowski is back in second place. And I'm wondering if on any of our cameras if we can see if Larry Ward ever caught up with Jeremy McGrath.
Well, I don't think Jeremy would let that happen. He'd look back there and see him coming, and I think Skip Norfolk would take that chalkboard and whack Jeremy over the head with it if he would let that happen. But they're smart. I mean, you know, I sounded a little disappointed in Jeremy by not really giving it an effort, but he's got to ride for the championship, and he's doing the right thing. It's just unfortunate that these guys aren't part of that points chase, and we'd see a real good battle.
LaRocco taking it really easy on this final lap to the cheers of the, about 12,000 people here this weekend. I mean, it's an enormous crowd for this place, a record, I'm told.
Well, I think they're all going to jump in the river after this moto because it's hot out here.
Or the river, dump a bucket of ice water on your head, something to cool off. But this guy doesn't want to cool things off. Mike LaRocco takes the checkered flag, taking home the victory here in moto number 1 at the Spring Creek Motocross Park, Millville, Minnesota. He comes over. Art Ekman will be talking to him in just a moment, but first he's going to Get a drink of water, take off the goggles and the helmet. As you look at the rest of the top 5, Kudrowski, McGrath, Larry Ward, and a great ride for Donnie Schmidt coming out of retirement. And as you look at the remainder of the top 10, Art is with our second-place finisher.
Well, Mike, it was shades of last year. It was a wonderful ride between you two in this incredible heat.
Yeah, I got a really good start. My KX just pulled everybody down the start, and I knew I got in front of Jeremy. I knew I had the whole shot, and yeah, I tried to ride a smooth, consistent race, and I ended up making a couple mistakes. And, you know, Mike was just a little bit stronger, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, well, it was a fine day for you to come back and take a second place under these conditions.
Yeah, it felt good.
This rider right here, Jeff Emick, probably doesn't feel too good. Finished 21st after crashing, no points. But Art Ekman is down there talking with him now.
As you can see, the dilapidated bike of Jeff Emick in a very big disappointment.
Yeah, I got together. I don't know who it was with on the first lap, and it pretty much, you know, when somebody came over, landed on me, I could see him coming over on me in the air, and I actually let go of my bike and like pushed theirs away, and luckily, you know, I got away without any injury, but unfortunately my bike didn't.
And it came at such a crucial time too, Jeff, but that's racing, as they say all the time.
Yeah, well, it ain't over with yet. You know, things got to turn around sometime.
Well, they can't turn around unless you're trying as hard as you can, and boy, does he sound determined right now. So taking a terrible situation and make it into something good. He's obviously motivated. Year under his belt in the 250s, and next year he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's my early pick for the championship next year. Speaking of the champion, the defending champ, LaRocco comes through with the victory. Art's caught up with him.
Well, Mike, it never hurts to come back from injury with a win like that on a very, very difficult day. And a comeback win, especially when you're in your last year of a contract.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, I'm starting to feel stronger. I'm getting my strength back. So, you know, I just gave it all I had. I want to win just like before. And, you know, I went out there, gave it 100%, and, you know, I came up with the win.
And as you told us before, and we saw already, the whoops, the sand, you love them. You know, it spells opportunity for you.
Yeah, I grew up a little bit with stayed some winters in Florida, and, you know, I got to ride them pretty well. So it's helped me out a lot in my career, and you know, it did today.
Well, stay in the cool here with the fans.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, we're all going to try and cool down and get set for the start of Moto number 2 coming your way right after this.
Winning a single Supercross is no easy feat. Jeremy McGrath has won 3 Supercross championships in a row. For Honda, that makes 8 straight. Are you up for that?
Jumping, jamming, smashing, crashing, flooring, soaring. Experience the high-flying world of Supercross like never before. Call now to order Supercross Thrills and Spills, the video that captures the highs and the lows of the world's top riders. Endless endos, roughest rivalries, biggest bloopers, and fantastic finishes. Can't miss action for the can't miss price of $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-225-5222 and order Supercross Thrills and Spills. All major credit cards accepted. Call now.
Suzuki Dual Sport 650, 350, 250, and 125. No other line has a wider range.
The National Business Employment Weekly, the only publication
for this week's Suzuki Flashback. We hop in our time machine, go back to last year's Spring Valley, and a 3-way battle between Dowd, McGrath, and Mike LaRocco.
This is when John Dowd came from a privateer motorcycle to a sort of a factory bike, but he couldn't quite hold off a hard-charging LaRocco in the first moto.
But in the second moto, it would be all Dowd as he picks up the outdoor national victory overall, and man, what a happy time he had.
Well, so back in the days when Jeremy McGrath didn't ride quite as good outdoors, that's a different story now, and different story for John Dowd today, too. The defending champion having his problems in the first moto, but the second moto, he has a chance to redeem himself.
And you got to watch Jeff Emick in this moto, I think.
No, I think he looks pretty focused, and obviously